Thank you for joining us on another episode of discussions with some interesting Certara colleagues. Today I'm joined by Raj and Mayumi, and I'd like to start with both of you introducing yourselves. Tell us where you're based and a little bit about your career journey up until this point. So, Mayumi, why don't we start with you?
It's pleasure to talk to everybody today. I received bachelor and master's degree in pharmaceutical science from the University of Tokyo. I have a pharmacist license, but you don't want me to count pills anymore. After graduation, I worked at Takeda Pharmaceutical Company as an analytical scientist in Osaka, Japan. I prepared IND documents and query responses from US EU regulatory authorities. Also, I've been involved in overarching continuous involvement team among CMC department, creating universal SOPs, improving work efficiency with UST members. After I got married, I started look for position in Tokyo. Then I joined Bristol Myers Squibb Japan Clinical Pharmacology Group. I spent 8 years in BMS as an individual contributor to pharmacometric analysis and clinical pharmacology regulatory documents, and another 4 years as a Japan Clinical Pharmacology Organization head. Considering my career, I would say I'm an expert on the clinical pharmacology, pharmacometrics, and bioanalytical method development. In 2019, I joined Certara as a clinical pharmacology and pharmacometric consultant, responsible for APAC consulting activities to support clients who are working on Asian-related development programs or submission to health authorities to deliver a wide range of model-informed drug development capability to customers. For example, I conduct clinical pharmacology gap analysis, which leverage quantitative tools and incorporate creative solutions to the overall clinical pharmacology strategy with aims to support decision-making during development while mitigating regulatory risk. Also, I provide pharmacometric function support to clients, including analysis plan writing review, modeling support, drafting pharmacometric analysis reports in various phases of drug development according to state-of-the-art methods and regulatory requirements. Often I support PMDA formal or preliminary meeting, including authoring clinical pharmacology sections of the briefing documents or CTDs, attending meeting for discussion, and drafting health authority query responses. That's all.
Great. Thank you very much, Mayumi. Raj, how
Yeah,
about you? Could you introduce yourself and describe your career journey up until
yeah,
this point?
yes. Thanks, Patrick, and hi everyone. My name is Raj Bhardwaj. I'm a director clinical pharmacology, and I'm based in Parsippany, New Jersey. I'm with Certara now for more than 5 years, and I could say that I have an extensive experience in handling clients, consulting clients on the clinical pharmacology area. I have handled clients from the large pharma to mid-sized pharma and to the small pharma. So I have an extensive, experience in handling different pharma settings. And then I have worked in the area of, different stages of drug development. I have consulted in the areas of early, DMPK or the IND enabling studies. Then I have consulted companies on their early development, many phase one studies, design of the phase one studies, handling these clients, from the, different CROs and handling these studies. And these days I'm working with the clients on their submission. So in the late stage development molecules. And then in my previous jobs, I have worked for, Bristol Myers Squibb and then for Roche for some time. And I also have worked in very early drug discovery where I have worked on these in vitro DMPK assays, which help me in understanding the translational part of these studies into the clinical pharmacology, which I help, for these clients. As a background, my PhD is in pharmacology and my graduation is in pharmacy.
Great. Thanks, Raj. And what was the first job you ever had?
So my first job was in Bristol Myers Squibb. That was in Princeton, where I was asked to establish the transporters lab. where we were involved in different establishing or setting up of different assays for the transporters, which was like, I think 10 years ago, the transporter area was evolving at that time. So it was, working for Bristol Myers Squibb as my first job.
Great. Thanks, Raj.
Yeah.
So Mayumi, you have a history of working in the pharmaceutical industry and being part of drug development teams. Could you share how working at Certara is different and what the consulting side of the industry is like?
Yes, the first when I was working at BMS, my pharmacometric analysis were outsourced to Certara, and I was working with many Certara consultants. They are really talented scientists, and I learned a lot from them. Certara has a great depth and breadth in their modern expertise in all therapeutic areas. Frequently, resources in pharmaceutical companies are limited and their experience is not broad enough. However, Certara consultants have experience performing a variety of pharmacometric modeling and they work as a team to turn around deliverables very quickly. Second, some previous co-workers whom I have a lot of respect for have joined Certara, and I had been looking forward to working with them in Certara. Finally, after I joined Certara, I was surprised at the big team of regulatory medical writers and regulatory strategy development expertise. Stewardship services to guide clients to new drug approval with successful interaction with regulatory authority is a Certara team strength, which I love most.
Great. Thanks, Mayumi. And Raj, a question for you. Could you talk about your experience consulting and how it differs from your past experiences working in pharma as well?
Yes, yeah. So consulting is basically is a different kind of job when you are in consulting world, and then when you are in a company, working for one or top projects. Consulting means you're handling multiple projects, multiple people, and very high turnover for these projects. So consulting gives you enormous experience in handling these kind of projects in different areas, and that's what I have learned over the period of time in Certara. I would say that working in Certara as a consultant is working like a faculty in university, right? In faculty, when you work as a university, you go to the funding agencies like NIH, write your projects, and you're independent. Same here in Certara, right? As a consultant, you write your projects with your client or the other person, frame it, put the science there, and then go and ask for the funding from that client, right? And basically then you are independent, and then within Certara you have plenty of knowledge, information available. Go and find out and do the project. So this is so different from working from a company where you just work on one or two projects and you just have to follow what company goals are. Here you can work on different projects. So that's how I feel it's totally different, and it gives a very good experience.
Great. Thanks, Raj.
Yep.
So Mayumi, what was your most challenging experience so far in your career?
Thank you, Patrick. When I was a clinical pharmacology organization head in Japan, BMS, BMS and Japanese company were co-developing nivolumab, PD-1 immune checkpoint inhibitor, and nivolumab weight-based dose regimen was being changed into flat dose in clinical trials. However, corporate culture was totally different between companies, and their business strategy was something different. They were not willing to collaborate with us at first, just because they believed their strategy was the best one. However, the replacement of previous approved dose regimen in Japan package insert with a new regimen seems to be tough, most challenging, because there was no precedent. At first, Japanese co-developing company was conservative and hesitant to negotiate with authority to waive actual clinical studies. However, I was confident that there was a room for discussion with PMDA, and I made several presentations in front of co-developing company with scientific, logical, and cogent justification based upon quantitative modeling simulation. Since then, they have come to rely on us, providing Japanese study data, and we combine the data with global data and conducting modeling simulation for flat dose switching. Through weekly teleconferences and monthly video conferences with seniors, we work very closely with stakeholders to make decisions quickly and prioritize each activity in a timely manner. At the end, PMDA accepted model-based simulation approach to switch from weight-based dose regimen into flat dose regimen. Tenacious negotiation and leadership skill to lead a big team allowed this great achievement, which has been most challenging part and most memorable experience in my career.
Great. Thank you, Mayumi. Very, very impressive. Raj, next one for you. So we know that in general, there are not enough clinical pharmacologists or pharmacometricians in the industry. So there's a bit of a shortage of talent across all areas of the industry. So I think it's a great career opportunity for young individuals looking to pursue clin pharm or pharmacometrics. Do you have any advice for younger folks who might be interested in pursuing these areas?
Yes, yeah, definitely, Patrick. I have some advice for the younger people, and I would start saying that when you start your journey, or anything like being in a race, you want to start good. You want to have a good start, and a good start in this journey is which I feel is that you want to have for more and more information. For example, you need to solve any issue, you need to have more and more tools. Like I say that more and more tools of drug development. You want to learn, you want to have an exposure to these tools so that you can integrate these tools as you grow more in your career. I think Certara has that place that it offers. It offers so many things under one umbrella that if there is any one new person comes, that person can be exposed to different areas of the drug development, which I call the tools, being it in a pharmacometrics or in the PBPK modeling, or being in the regulatory environment, interacting with the regulatory agencies, or designing any part of the clin pharm study. So once you have all these tools in your bag, it's basically then you can integrate that as you grow more older in the career. In addition, once you are into that kind of environment where you're handling multiple projects, you tend to learn many problem solving skills, which are very important as you grow older in your career. So I think these two things that Certara offers, which is very good for the beginners, if they come and join this, they get very good exposure, and that's really helpful for them.
Great. Thanks, Raj. And you had outlined earlier about your career journey. Thinking back now of all the places that you've been, is there anything that you would have done differently, knowing what you know now?
I think I really like the journey so far, because what happened is, I didn't stay in one part of my career in my journey. I started with very early discovery, and then I moved to more and more into development. Maybe I could have been, I have moved this much earlier, but I think I'm happy with my journey so far because I have been exposed to the different areas of drug development. And honestly, whatever experience I gained, I have used that very much into the current, working at Certara. So, so far, so good, I would say.
Okay, great. Thanks, Raj.
Yeah.
And Mayumi, being based in Japan may be a little bit different. So I'm wondering if you have recommendations for junior faculty who might be interested in exploring a career in this area?
Yes, thank you, Patrick. Japan clinical pharmacology resources are very limited, so I hope more and more pharmacometricians join us in the future. And my passion on clinical pharmacology is as follows. Because clinical pharmacology and pharmacometrics are very broad disciplines, I think the journey to become expert looked super long and challenging first. However, they are subject worthy of your passion. Where there is a will, there is a way. Enjoy all aspects of clinical pharmacology and pharmacometrics, such as modeling simulation, data handling, clinical study design building, and negotiation with regulators. I'm happy to go the extra mile in my work because clinical pharmacology and pharmacometrics have so many challenges to solve. The bigger the challenges I face in a project, the more invaluable experience I will gain from it.
Great. Thank you, Mayumi. So next question, and then we'll wrap up with a few fun questions to ask you guys. But maybe to Raj first is could you talk a little bit about why you enjoy working at Certara?
Yes, yeah, definitely. That's a very important question because, if I don't enjoy, I would not be here. So the two things that are important for me is, the people around you, how are the people around you where you work, the second thing is balancing the work with the family life. And I think Certara offers these two things. Regarding people, I have seen in my whatever the time period I spent here in Certara, people are very motivating, very positive, very helping, and that helped me in solving issues because when I'm doing a strategy consulting for a client, I cannot solve all my issues, I mean all the issues of the clients because I may not have experience. But when I reach out to the people have helped me here, they motivated me with the information that they have, helping in solving the issue. And second is, as I mentioned, that Certara offers that flexibility. I don't see this as a 9 to 5 job. I see this as my commitment to the client for a deliverable. And in addition to deliverable, my commitment to the client is to give a sense of security that I'm there for you. And that has helped me in growing my projects. Every time my projects have been, extended and amended to have additional money because I want to make the client feel that I'm there for you. I'm not there just for you to do your job, but I'm there for you to help you for, if there is anything that you need in addition, to just the science part, to give them the security that I'm a part of your company or, your whole project.
Great, thanks, Raj. And I believe you've had ample opportunity to work across multiple therapeutic areas and to work at all phases of development from the discovery, entry into human, all the way up to registration. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, and I'm getting a lot of. These days my clients are into registration. I have a submission coming end of this year, and then for one product which is already approved by FDA, we have interaction going with EMA. And then another one submission coming in the liver area for another client. So I would say that it's basically a company where you take your call, what you want to learn. If you are not into certain areas, take 1 or 2 projects of that area, see how you're doing with it. And if you're not doing it good, then step back and play with your strengths and then come back again and learn the new projects. So I think Certara has that capability or the environment that it offers to you to get into different areas. And that's how I have done in Certara, working in different areas and learning and growing, and I'm still doing it. But yeah.
Great. Thanks, Raj. So, Mayumi, same question to you. Why do you enjoy working at Certara?
Thank you, Patrick. Similar to Raj, there are three reasons why I choose Satara Consulting: flexibility, co-workers, and learning opportunities. First, I'm a mother of two kids. I prioritize family time at home. The flexible work schedule and flexible work location are a big benefit for me. Even when the time spent on the desk is limited, I can act as a dedicated steward for multiple pharma companies. Every day we make a difference by pushing the boundary of science forward, not only for our clients, but eventually for our patients. Creative problem solving skill is mandatory every day because clients are stuck and need someone to help them figure out their problems. I like communicating with them, and the consultant's key job is to figure out how to leverage and implement model informed drug development for clients' development programs. I love to lead the projects such as budget managing and people managing, and at the same time, I contribute to science, not just as a project manager. Second, our colleagues are people with superb communication skills and ability to work autonomously. We are surrounded by great leaders who are doing inspiring work. Satara's growing multidisciplinary expertise in PBPK, QSP, CMC, and regulatory science allows me to work with a variety of experts, and I'm excited to strategize development programs or provide regulatory intelligence to clients. Accelerating drug development is a team sport. Lastly, I'm working on a variety of different client programs on a daily basis. It's important to get up to speed first with each client project. We empower our clients to make informed decisions by using our expertise and experience in quantitative clinical pharmacology and pharmacometrics. I'm really excited to branch out beyond my comfort zone and think on my feet and learn as clients embark on some challenging projects. If you also have ability to multitask, you'll enjoy Satara's fantastic learning opportunities. In conclusion, being a part of Satara's diverse team with cutting-edge skill sets gives clients more options to solve unprecedented drug development challenges. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayumi. That's a wonderful answer. So now just a couple of fun questions. So the first one to Mayumi is, do you prefer cats or dogs?
I prefer dogs. When I was a kid, I had a dog, and I loved taking care of dogs, and I spent time with dogs. Thank you.
What was your dog's name?
Kuma, which is bear in English.
I like that name. Really, really good. Raj, how about you? Cats or dogs?
I would go with dogs, yeah, because when I was kid, because my dad was in Indian Air Force, so we had one dog when I was back home in India.
And what was the dog's name?
Rocky.
Kuma and Rocky. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's unanimous. I vote for dogs as well. Sun or snow? Raj?
I would go with sun because I love summer. So I like to be, and I need to learn skiing, but I love sun. Yeah, to be out and just enjoy outside, going to the beach. Yeah.
Very good. Well, you better enjoy it here in New Jersey while it lasts.
Yep.
And Mayumi, how about you? Do you prefer vacations in the sun or the snow?
I like both. So, for example, sun, climbing mountain in summer. I climbed Mount Fuji 4 times in my life. I enjoyed climbing mountains with my family. And in winter, I try to go skiing, but I live in Midtown area in Tokyo, so it's difficult to find time to go snowing mountains.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you both for the time to take part in the discussion today. And I'd like to thank the audience for joining as well. And please join us next time as we'll talk to more interesting Certara colleagues from around the company. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Patrick.